Hello, welcome to Unraveled Gaming. One of the requests that came through on Board Game Atlas was for a comparison of the clans in Clans of Caledonia. Sometimes I like doing little comparisons between cards and things of that nature in some of the games, but I thought I'd do two things. One is I traded for clans from somebody, I think it was somebody in the board game geek community, and they sent me a I think a deluxe version of Clans of Caledonia. So I have this sleeve that is on here, and I've upgraded a few parts. So I thought I'd show off, how it all fits in the box here. I've obviously taken the lid and the sleeve off, but I thought it might be fun to kind of show off some of these nice parts. Clans is one of my favorite games. A lot of fun to play. Resource management, sort of market style game. But the guy who sent me this game also had 3D printed a really nice setup. So you can kind of see these things fit in here pretty nicely. The game board fits in here very well. And then I guess he had cut out this cardboard piece here. And if I pick that up, then you can see all the pieces underneath of it. And you can see that that's cut out just to fit in there just right, so that these can stick up a little bit, because they do take up a little bit more space height-wise. And then everything else fits in here, and all the player pieces are in these sections here. So let me show off some of these. They don't fit 100% accurately, but I'll see if I can hold them so you can see them. So this is the beer barrels, and I got these from Top Shelf Gamer. They had a discount deal going on, and so they were I was like, Clans, that would be this would be a lot of fun. I mean, you can see just all the nooks and crannies, and that cheese there is absolutely fantastic tactily to play with. There's the loaf of bread for your bread, your yarn. When you get yarn, your little buckets of milk. Very nice. And the wheat. So that's the most expensive resource in the game to some degree. And then it came with the metal coins when I traded for it. I already had these. So these are, of course, if you play games and you like metal coins, I don't know how you can not like metal coins, honestly. It's probably my own addiction, but I love having metal coins in games. But it's fabulous. You can see a couple of these beer barrels don't quite fit in there. But yeah, this one's pretty blinged out as far as pieces. But that's the setup that I have, and let's pull out. Now I will say, the 3D printing, it's very tight. It fits near perfect, so it's a pretty tight 3D printing, but it does fit, and it does make it easier for taking out and stowing things. Well, let's look at these clans and see what we got here. Got Clan Buchanan. We've got Clan McDonald. And I have not played with all of these clans. I can probably tell you the ones I have played with, but I think they're probably pretty well balanced. I haven't played with them enough to find out if there's some lack of balance at all. But what we can do is kind of talk through the different ones, and you probably have to decide what you like. Now, I've played with Clan MacKenzie several times. I do like this one. And it's probably because I'm a fan of craft beer, so I enjoy a good craft beer. This one operates giving you some much needed cash for beer when you brew it. And what happens is, when you're producing beer during the production phase, then you can put one of your beers on here. And you can always use beer if you're fulfilling contracts from here. But what ideally helps is, one, whenever you produce a beer, you'll get three money just for producing the beer. But every income you can put one beer on here, and you could then you can put a second beer on here, and then if a third income phase comes, then you can store a third beer here in your cellar. And what happens is now that I have three, for whatever reason, and I could the next turn store another beer in my cellar, and it would then push this beer off. Well, when that beer comes off, I get 15 coins for that beer coming off. Now, if I took it off early, like say I took these two off to pay a contract, I would get 15 plus the 7 because of them coming off. So essentially, you just get a lot more cash for storing beer in your cellar. So that's a fun one. It is the challenge in using Clan MacKenzie is that you really have to you really have to get some wheat out on the board, and wheat is the most expensive thing to get out on the board. It's like 18 coins to get that out there, but it will pay you back if you use your cellar well. So that's Clan MacKenzie. It's a pretty good one. I tried. Let me see if I can find the fishing one here. I think it's this one. So I played with this one last time when I was playing with my buddy, and this replaces. So if we look at the board here, move that out of the way. What happens with this clan is you put this over top of this, and so instead of like normally you would put workers, these workers would be here. When you put them out on the board, that tells you how much income you're going to get each income. So now all of your workers can go out on the board for 4, and well, you get that much money for each worker that's placed out on the board. Essentially, actually, they go out for 6. I'm sorry. You pay 6 to put them out. They will pay you 4 for each one that's not there. Now, what makes it a little bit, and they're all kind of the same. There's not really miners or foresters. They're just all fishermen, essentially. You do get to start with an extra upgrade, and at least in a 2-player game. And then, let's see, is there one on the back? Nope, it's just a 2-player game. You get the extra upgrade. If it's not a 2-player game, I don't believe you get that. But out on the board here, you can put them in lock spaces, and then over the course of the game, you can move them a little bit. They just can never be fishing right next to each other. And they allow you to connect some of your land pieces a little easier, because that space counts as connected. If you have, say I had something here and I had something here, well then this, if I have a fisherman there, it connects those two spaces. So that's the fisherman, gives you a little bit more opportunity connecting your clans. So let's see, now this one, I'm going to put this back over here. Clan Ferguson. 4-player, you get a lot of upgrades to start the game with, and whenever you place your guys at the beginning of the game, you have to place them, you get to place 3, and they have to be outside the map. So there's a little bit more focus on, you're going to try to get more parts connected throughout the game, basically have more, I forget the name of it's a point thing at the end, not colonies. I want to call them colonies, but they're not colonies. Let me look through. How about the English rule book, because I don't speak German. I'm trying to find let's see, contracts. I forget what they're called. Settlements. I think settlements. They're called settlements. So if you know the rules of clans, you're kind of familiar with what a settlement is, but this clan will help you a little bit more with that because of starting the game with more upgrades and being able to place 1 extra worker at the beginning of the game. So that's Clan Ferguson. Clan Robertson. I have not played with Clan Robertson. I am not as familiar with that one. So each time you place a unit in a river delta, and you pay 3 less or 2 less in a 1 to 2 player game of the total cost. So this would just gives you a little bit of a discount when you are playing into an area that is a delta, adjacent to a river. Okay, so that'd be any of these areas that are right next to leading into a river. This one, or actually, yeah, this one and that one would count. Then those lands here and here and here are going to be 2 or 3 less whenever you do that. So I guess they did a lot of river trading with that clan. But buying land is expensive in this game. I have played with Clan Cunningham, or I have played with somebody that's played with it. Essentially, you're going to be putting out cows because you're going to want to produce milk, because every time you sell milk, you can sell it for 8 coins. And that's a pretty good deal. Milk can be very valuable. You do not want to make it into cheese very often, unless you're just trying to fulfill a contract. But selling the milk ends up being a very viable way of making cash with Clan Cunningham. Clan Campbell, I believe, gives you a discount, I want to say, on contracts, but I have not played with Clan Campbell, so that might be one I'll have to try out next time. Let's see. It gets better at building factories of processed goods the more often the clan builds them. So your first factory will cost you 3 less than normal, your second 4, third 4, and then when you get to your 5th factory, it'll cost you 5 less than it normally would to build a processed good. So that is a really good one. Yeah, the first is 3 lira cheaper. The second is 4, or I guess it's pounds probably. And so yeah, you really want to produce. You really want to get those buildings produced, those processed goods built to make use of that clan well. I do like that one. I've probably only played this through non-solo, I think 2, maybe 3 times with other players. So this is one I'd like to try for sure. All right, Clan MacEwan. Again, this is another one I have not played with and don't have a lot of experience. So Clan MacEwan, this looks like it came, I guess this was a Kickstarter whenever the individual I traded for got it. So this one's a special one and probably doesn't come in the base game. But each time you fulfill an export contract that gives you hops, you get to produce immediately 1 beer for each unit of hops imported at the cost of 1 grain each. So you have to give up a grain per hop and you get to produce a beer. That doesn't really make sense with the picture per se. You can produce a max of 3 beer per contract. So this one's a little confusing. I'll be honest. Each time you fulfill a export contract that gives you hops, which that makes sense, you can immediately produce 1 beer for each unit of hops imported at the cost of 1 grain each. So I guess that makes sense. You pay a grain, you get a beer per the hops that are on the contract for a max of 3, and you gain a certain amount of money that you can look up here. So I don't know why there's a certain amount of money. Oh, I see. So if you go to this website here, karmagames.com, clans, KS tiles, I guess it tells you how much money you can get per beer you produce. I don't know why they have that there. I probably should go to the website and find out what that says. In fact, I'm going to do that after this recording. So that is Clan MacEwan. And let's see, we got Clan Stewart. Now they're fairly. I have played with this one. You get to start with 3 extra merchants, and you get an extra upgrade. And I do like this one because if you're purchasing anything from the market, then you'll purchase it at 1 less and per item you're purchasing, I believe. And if you're selling, you get to sell it for 1 more than you normally would. So this is clan Stewart. Let me double check my math on that because I think it's per item. Um, oh, no, it's just each time you trade at the market, no matter how many units you trade. So it's not per item. It's actually just if you're trading at the market, you're going to pay one less. If you're purchasing, you're going to get one extra coin if you're selling. But it's not per item. It's just total trade. So the more times you trade, the better. You'll get more coins the more you trade in the market. So that's a pretty good clan. The market's very helpful. This goes with one of the clans, but I didn't catch which one. I didn't pay enough attention to which clan is actually. I think it's honestly the Fisher clan, because it helps you because this is on your mat, so this goes with that clan. That is what I think. Plus, I'm judging that by the fact she's got a fishing pole, which let me see. Yeah, pretty sure it's a fishing pole in her hand. So yeah, I think she's with that clan. Clan Buchanan. You just get another export bin, so you can have 2 export contracts at once. I have played with this one. It's actually very good, and there's ways to manipulate that pretty well, because everybody gets an export bin, but if you have 2, like in the first round, you actually gain $5 for getting exports. So if you got them both in the same turn, you only get 5, but if you use one turn to get 1 export contract, you can gain $5. You use the next turn to get an export contract and you gain $5. You can gain money in the first round, but in later rounds, like the last 2, when it costs 10 and then 15 to gain those contracts, then if you use one turn and both your bins are empty, you can potentially, for 15, get 2 contracts instead of 1. So it's a great way. If you can manipulate that well, you can fulfill a lot of contracts, and you can make a lot of points that way. So that is Clan Buchanan. So I would not say, if I had to say what's my favorite here, I'm going to go with the Clan MacKenzie, the beer one. One, because I like craft brew, and so that just seems pretty fun to make whiskey. I also have a relative whose last name is MacKenzie, so there's probably I got some family relations that might feed into that a little bit. But I've not played it enough to know which is best. I do know that making money is pretty good, so being able to get the $8 for your milk is not a bad idea. I like the idea of building these factories, so that seems like one that would be a favorite for me. This one, it's probably not as exciting. The market one I've used, that one's pretty good. I'll be honest, if you use them all wisely, they can all be pretty helpful. Now, I did lose the game that I played with this one, but then again, I was teaching the game at the same time I was playing, and whenever I teach a game, I tend to do terribly when I'm playing because I'm not focused as much on my strategy. So I probably could have used this one better had I played it. But that is Clans of Caledonia, kind of my deluxe version here, and upgraded parts, and those are the clans. So if you have any feedback or comments, I could certainly post a video on some greater strategy points if desired, or would just love to hear your thoughts if you've played clans, what you think, and what do you think of those parts? I think they're fantastic. It was one of those, I cannot pass that up when it went on sale. So Top Shelf Gamer, it's a great place to bling games. But that's Unraveled Gaming today. Have a great weekend.